Hey guys, very crudely yours. Sorry, it's really late at night. I just got off work and on the way home I checked my mailbox. I didn't expect to have anything because the mail's been kind of slack ever since the holiday. I haven't gotten any of the stuff that I've been expecting through the mail. I've got some stuff I wasn't expecting. I've got some screeners that, sorry, my hair's being annoying. But I haven't got anything that I was expecting. But I actually got something the other day. Again, I wasn't even expecting it because it was sent like 3 days ago. But sorry, my dog's passed out beside me. Um, the movie's Red Velvet. If you're like me, then that title will be familiar with you, but you're not even gonna know what the movie was. I heard about it basically because everyone was saying this movie was like so amazing and so awesome. And if you're wondering why I'm actually posting this on Saturday, it's because I'll have another one up tomorrow. Last week there was some profile maintenance, and long story short, password changes. Somehow my message didn't go through to me, so that's why. So there'll be this is my weekend. You're mine. Um, just throwing that out there. So that's why I'm doing one today and tomorrow. But anyway, Red Velvet. It starts out and there's this guy who's in like a solid white painter's jumpsuit. He's a total dick, and he goes to this laundromat and he meets a girl there, and like she's trying to strike up friendly conversation with him, and he's just being an ass, and I have nothing to show with it. My screener was just on a DVD-R. Um, so anyway, um, they end up, for some reason she really likes him even though he's an ass, and they go out to eat, and like they're constantly bickering back and forth with each other, and he tells her that he's a storyteller, and he tells her some. She's like, "Tell me a story." Then he tells her some amazing story about whenever there was this like really weird woman that always blamed the son for bad things that was like medicated, and um anyway, eventually like her family kills her. It's a pretty funny scene because you see like the dad smothering her with a pillow, and then like the sister and the brother joins in, and then it cuts to another story that he tells where like the host of the restaurant is killed by a samurai and her head sauteed, which is hysterical because there's like a samurai in the kitchen like sauteing like a head on a wok. um and then she explains that her boyfriend is this completely like self-centered asshole who stayed home to watch a college football game instead of taking her to a party in the woods with her friends. And oh, I can't. I'm half out of it because I just got through watching the movie, and I'm still thinking about the ending, which I'll get to in a minute. But I'm just constantly thinking about that. Um, but I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but they met at a laundromat, and like the first half of the movie takes place with them talking in a laundromat. Well, anyway, she explains to him that the reason that she's in the laundromat was because she didn't want to be home with him watching this college football game, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so she explains that her friend is having a birthday party in this secluded cabin in the woods, and in order to entertain her, the guy says that he'll tell a gruesome story where all her friends are killed by this really weird killer. And then they have this really amusing conversation about like what his mask will look like, and what weapons he'll use, and that she requests that he has a pink tool belt and stuff like that. It's really kind of witty and stupid conversation. And the killer, he has like robotic bunny ears, a Polaroid with a flash on his head that takes pictures of the victims, and it comes out like an instant Polaroid. Um, an LED smile for a mouth, and like a magazine, like a cartoon looking eye that he's like duct taped to the mask. And he wears the same white jumpsuit as the narrator of the story. It's really cool. And basically, he just starts killing off the people in the woods as the guy tells it. And then there's like some cool things, like a couple gets killed after sex, and she's like, that can't happen because he's gay. So then he has to like retell that part with them getting killed in different ways. So it pokes fun at horror movies in a way that is entertaining and not stupid. Scream, I think, is moderately okay, just maybe in the uncut form. But the new Scream sequels, stuff like that, the Scream sequels, they're not really new anymore, but they suck. I hate them. Most films that try to poke fun at horror movies either fail horribly or just do not do a good job of capturing it, especially slashers. Shaun of the Dead did good at poking fun at zombie movies, and it's not that hard to have like a comedy zombie movie anymore. That's like, it seems like everyone does now. But having a comedy slasher that works is something that's really hard. And this one pokes fun at it in a way, well, that they're constantly making like, oh, death after sex, that's cliche and stuff like that. And it works. It works way better than Scream ever even thought of doing, because it has this incredibly artistic look to it. It reminds me a lot of an Argento film. There's a scene where they're walking through the apartment complex where they both live, and oh yeah, again, like I said, I forgot. It starts out and they're both in this apartment complex. She lives upstairs, he lives downstairs, and her and her boyfriend are constantly fighting, and it's getting on his nerves. So that's why he's like, that's one of the reasons why he's an ass to her. And then it towards the middle point in the story, he agrees that he'll take her up to the cabin in the woods, and then when they get up there, like, the twist ending happens. And I mean, of course, with a movie that's like this, you know that either it's going to be either just a story, which the chances that are unlikely, or it's going to be that somehow his story is related to a real killer that's killing off her friends in the woods, which is highly likely in a movie like this. I'm not going to tell you which it is, but I'm going to tell you that this is one of the only films out there that I've really seen do this. It's really a one-of-a-kind movie, and I love it. But I have not seen a film do something like this ever. The ending is, to call it Deus Ex Machina is completely an understatement. The ending's there just for the sake of having an ending. I mean, in all honesty, you can just pretty much cut the movie off after the final scene out in the cabin in the woods, and it'll be more conscious to you. It'll be more easy to understand that way. Because the ending in this movie, I don't even know. Like, there's nothing that explains it in any way. I watched the movie twice. I went back to certain parts like 5 times that I thought would explain it. Nothing. You're not going to find diddly shit about the plot in this. If I'm missing something, I mean, it's late at night. It's like 12 right now, or 11, 8. Yes, my clock's off on my computer because it's stupid. But if I miss something and someone's seen this, please message me and explain it to me. But the ending, basically, I was talking to the producer, he's the one who sent me a copy of the movie, and he said they just made it for you to enjoy. When you watch it, you're going to enjoy it. And of course, with a film like this, I mean, if you had some kind of really serious ending, because it's a comedy as well. I mean, the killer spouts one-liners, and like I said, they're constantly mocking horror movies. It works. It really works as a comedy and as a horror film, as an homage to the slashers. The gore's insane, the violence is insane. There's actually some a fairly graphic sex scene in it. Another thing, it has a gay couple in it, which I thought was really interesting, because most horror films are afraid to do that now, and most of them cater to like the teeny boppers that are like, oh yeah, like Sorority Row and shit like that. Am I saying that I think there should be more gay couples in horror films? No, but I'm saying that it's nice to see something that's against the grain of modern horror films, because this was made this year. Which, if you've seen the shit that's came out this year, that's one reason why I really like how this film did everything. It really did everything completely different. It took normal cliches and spun them around completely. And probably the biggest cliche that it destroyed was an ending, because like I said, I'm still thinking about it, and it still makes no sense to me at all. And like I said, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's one of the craziest endings I have ever seen. And at the same time, it's hilarious as well. It's almost like so funny. With it, it's so absurd, and it makes no sense at all that you just can't help but laugh. If that makes any logical sense to you, then you're a better man than me. But it's almost like the absurdity of it is why you're going to be laughing, not at actually what you're seeing. But overall, I loved it. I think it's probably it's the most original horror film I've seen this year, and it's probably one of the most original horror films I've seen in my lifetime, in all honesty. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been watching a lot of stuff that no one has ever seen in their entire life. But I've seen, like I said, I've seen a lot. This is probably one of the most original horror films I've ever seen. So I'll have a written review up for it soon on my site, because that's what it was sent to me to review for. So if you're interested in that, I guess whenever I type it, I'll post a link here. It might be a day or two, but check back in tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to review. I'm thinking maybe an X-rated cult title, but if you guys want to hear my opinion on something else, post a comment below that you've seen in one of my updates or something, or maybe the X-rated cult title that you've seen in one of my updates that you want to hear my opinion on. I'm thinking maybe Grim Weekend, because this was a independent shot on digital film that worked amazingly. It was probably one of the most original films I've ever seen, and Grim Weekend, that kind of really shows you why you should not shoot films on digital. But overall, Red Velvet, amazing film with so much creativity and enjoyment. I can't recommend it enough.